These are the most relevant news or gossip about what happened during the month in the world of anime, manga Japan, or the otaku community. And we close with the curious and controversial fact of the week. A new report has emerged on the audience demographics of the controversial series Redo of Healer, and the numbers have surprised the entire industry. Contrary to popular belief that this series is consumed almost exclusively by men due to its high ecchi content and male power fantasy, recent streaming statistics indicate a massive and sustained increase in female viewership. The analysis suggests several interesting factors. First, many female viewers are attracted to the pure revenge aspect of the protagonist Kaoru, viewing it more as an emotional retribution drama than an erotic series. Second, in forums and social media, a segment of the female audience has expressed that, ironically, the series' brutal honesty about human darkness is more appealing to them than typical sugar-coated romances. This breaks the stigma that dark fantasy or H-toned content is only for one gender, proving that the thirst for fictional revenge is a universal taste. Let's start with something light on the wallet, or maybe not so light. The Uma Musume franchise has broken the internet again, but this time it's not because of a race, but because of a giant Agnes Tachyon plush toy. Cygames has released a life-size, or almost, version of the popular horse girl scientist. What has made the news go viral is the exorbitant price and ridiculous size, which has filled social media with photos of Japanese fans trying to fit the plush toy into their tiny homes. It's definitive proof that Uma Musume fans are willing to buy anything. To wrap up, let's look at a serious report that explains why your favorite animators are still poor. Industry veteran Shizumi has published a devastating report on job insecurity in 2026. Although anime generates billions of dollars globally, the report points out that the salaries of base animators have barely risen due to the production committee system. How does it work? The report explains that these committees, made up of television stations, record labels, and publishers, keep almost all the profits from licensing and merchandising to recoup their investment, leaving the animation studio with a fixed, closed budget. If the series is a global success, the studio and animators do not receive extra bonuses. Everything goes to the committee. The report warns that if this model does not change soon, the brain drain to China, where they pay better, will leave Japan without qualified animators in the coming years. And we close with a dark story that has resurfaced and serves as a warning about the labor crisis in anime. It is the infamous case of the series My Sister, My Writer. This series is remembered not for its plot, but for having one of the worst animation qualities of the decade. Deformed characters, static frames, and constant visual errors turned it into a meme. But the serious issue was not the drawing, but what happened behind the scenes. Recently, screenshots of the series' end credits have gone viral again, where fans discovered disturbing messages. Instead of listing normal names, there were pseudonyms for animators that literally translated as, "Seriously, I'm suffering. Please help me," or "The system has collapsed." It was confirmed that the production was such a logistical disaster that the studio had to hire anyone who could draw minimally weeks before the broadcast. The professional animators were so overworked and underpaid that they used the credits, the one place no one checks, to denounce their extreme working conditions. A brutal reminder that behind bad animation, there are sometimes people crying out for help. We move on to the world of gaming with some police news. MiHoYo, the company behind Genshin Impact and Honkai, Star Rail, is in the eye of the storm after a police raid on its offices in China. What happened? Several high-level employees have been arrested on charges of commercial corruption. They are accused of accepting millions in bribes from external suppliers in exchange for merchandising and advertising contracts. The company has issued a zero-tolerance statement, confirming that those involved have been fired and will face prison sentences. This is part of a massive internal cleanup to prevent money leaks and paid content leaks. This news has outraged the Japanese and reopened the debate on over-tourism. Local authorities have decided to permanently cancel a popular flower festival near Mount Fuji. The reason is not the weather or the budget, but the barbaric behavior of foreign tourists. Organizers reported that, in their quest to get the perfect photo for Instagram or TikTok with Mount Fuji in the background, tourists invaded private property, trampled crops, and, most seriously, urinated in the gardens and fields of local residents because they did not want to wait in line for public restrooms. Local farmers, fed up with the smell and destruction of their land, demanded the closure of the event. Japan continues to tighten its measures against disrespectful tourists, and this is the first major event of 2026 to be canceled for this reason. We enter the field of artificial intelligence with two contrasting news stories. AI launched to create complete manga. A new software tool has been unveiled that can generate entire manga, script, panels, and drawings in a matter of minutes. Although it is marketed as an aid for amateurs, it has generated fierce criticism from traditional artists who fear that the market will be flooded with generic, soulless works. Say-use against AI, identity theft, and new laws. On a more serious note, the Voice Actors Union, Say-use, in Japan, has launched a massive campaign demanding urgent protection laws. They are denouncing the unauthorized use of their voices to train AI models that are then used to dub hentai, video games, or audiobooks without paying them a penny. They consider this identity theft and are demanding that the commercial use of synthesized voices without a contract be criminalized. To conclude, here are two news items from China that illustrate the current cultural clash. Detective Conan and My Hero Academia, banned from events. Chinese authorities have stepped up censorship at anime conventions. Security guards are reportedly expelling or prohibiting entry to cosplayers dressed as characters from Detective Conan and My Hero Academia. In the case of My Hero Academia, the wound is still open due to the controversy surrounding the name Maruta, a reference to Japanese war crimes. With Detective Conan, authorities allege that it promotes criminal violence and methods of murder to young people. This is part of a cultural cleansing campaign to reduce the influence of Japanese entertainment on Chinese youth. Women pay for role-playing boyfriends, cosplayers. In contrast to the bans, a massive gray market has emerged in China. Young women are paying large sums of money to male cosplayers to act as their boyfriends for a day by playing characters from anime or video games, such as those from Genshin Impact or Love and Deep Space. This is not prostitution, but rather an emotional and fantasy companionship service. It reflects the crisis of loneliness and social pressure to have a partner in China. Clients prefer to pay for a perfect date with an idealized fictional character than to deal with the complexities of a real relationship in an increasingly demanding society. We close with an update on one of Japan's most viral men, Ryuta Watanabe, the self-proclaimed god of marriage who lived with 4 wives and intended to father 54 children. It is reported that his polygamous lifestyle has suffered a total financial collapse. Watanabe became famous for not working and living off the salaries of his wives and girlfriends, dedicating himself solely to loving and cooking. However, economic inflation in 2026 and the exhaustion of his partners have broken the scheme. Apparently, the burden of supporting such a large family without any income from the husband became unsustainable. Some of his partners have begun to leave the house, leaving him with unpayable debts and putting an end, or at least a pause, to his dream of breaking the historical record for children in Japan. A dose of reality for the man who defied social norms without having a job. Let's start with the most spicy and curious news of the week. The world's most famous virtual idol, Hatsune Miku, has announced an unexpected collaboration with the Jade City Foods brand. It's an official line of hot sauces and gourmet coffee inspired by Miku's aesthetic. Although Miku usually collaborates with technology or clothing brands, This foray into spicy cuisine has sparked memes and a desire to try out just how strong the digital idol's flavor is. We enter the realm of artificial intelligence with a piece of news that is dividing opinion. The company ByteDance, owner of TikTok, has launched its Seedance 2.0 tool, an AI capable of generating fluid animation from static images. Faced with the eternal wait for the official return of Dragon Ball Super, fan groups are using this tool to animate the Moro arc on their own. The viral clips show fights with surprising fluidity, almost at the level of a professional studio in certain shots. This has sparked a debate. Is this the future of fan-made animation, or a threat to Toei animators? While the official anime has yet to arrive, the community is taking justice into its own technological hands. We close with the editorial controversy of the week. Shueisha's Shonen Jump Plus platform has publicly disqualified a participant from its recent Rookie Talent contest. A work provisionally titled Cyber Love was withdrawn and banned from the contest after it was discovered that it was created almost entirely using artificial intelligence art generators. The controversy was not just about AI. The work dealt with a rather explicit and crude NTR, Neterara and infidelity plot, a genre that, combined with the use of AI, set off alarm bells for publishers and readers. Shueisha has updated its rules to make it clear that even as technology advances, the publishers' awards, which seek out new human manga artists, will not accept works where AI replaces the creative process, thus protecting authors who draw by hand. This story has gone viral on Japanese social media due to its emotional impact, breaking down the usual barrier between artist and fan. Idol Nanase Takahashi surprised everyone by posting a message on her social media accounts seeking information about a specific fan. According to the idol, this fan had attended absolutely all of her events, concerts, and signing sessions for years, becoming a comforting and familiar face to her. From one day to the next, the fan stopped showing up. After months of absence, Nanas, genuinely concerned for his safety or health, decided to break the protocol of professional distance to publicly ask if anyone knew if he was okay. The community is moved, as it shows that idols also form emotional bonds with their most loyal fans, fearing that something serious, illness, or accident may have happened to him. We close with a 2026 government survey that has set off alarm bells about Japan's demographic future. The study reveals that a historic percentage of single Japanese people, both men and women in their 20s and 30s, have actively given up on finding a real partner. Most respondents said they prefer to devote their time, money, and affection to oshikatsu, the activity of fervently supporting an idol, anime character, or VTuber, or interacting with artificial intelligence girlfriends. Participants argue that real human relationships are too expensive, stressful, and require a lot of emotional effort, while a parasocial relationship with a character or AI provides emotional satisfaction without risks or fights. This further exacerbates the birth rate crisis, as technology and fandom are replacing the biological need for companionship. We close with a financial report that has set off alarm bells in the business world. The giant Kadokawa has reported a staggering 60% drop in operating profits during the last quarter. The company attributes this collapse to the lack of sequels to popular anime series. Last year, massive hits, such as the second season of Oshi no Ko, sustained the company's finances, but this year its catalog has been filled mainly with new adaptations, premiere series. Kadokawa explained that anime premiering their first season generate much lower revenue per title than established franchises. By betting on new works instead of safe sequels, profit margins have been dangerously compressed, compounded by increased production and personnel costs. This could mark a change in strategy for the future. If new stories are not immediately profitable, production companies are likely to stop taking risks with original works or new adaptations and focus solely on exploiting franchises that they know will sell, which could reduce the variety of anime we will see in the coming years. We move on to the world of video games and visual novels with Valkyrie Tune: Synthesis of Souls. This game, developed by Frontwing and produced by Akihiro Ishihara, former producer of Idolmaster, is a spin-off of Good Smile Company figures. It will be released globally in summer 2026 for Steam and Switch. What has attracted attention is that its producer has publicly stated that they will not soften or censor the Japanese aesthetic of the girls to please Western audiences, ensuring that the experience will remain intact for fans of the original design. To wrap up, here's a piece of news that shows the future is already here. In Japan, online education has taken a giant leap forward with the launch of Wish High, an online high school where all the teachers are active VTubers. Launched by Tokyo-based company Luminaris, this platform offers real classes in math, English, physics, history, and more for about 9,900 yen per month, approximately $65. The difference is that the live and recorded lessons are taught by virtual avatars controlled by real teachers. Although it sounds like a simple otaku eccentricity, the project has a very serious purpose. The school is designed to help middle school students living in remote rural areas who have trouble attending brick-and-mortar schools due to social anxiety, or those seeking more affordable options to expensive traditional prep schools. By using VTubers, they make students feel less intimidated and more motivated and interactive during classes, using the power of digital entertainment to combat educational backwardness. It's a crazy idea that could only work in Japan. Let's move on to the big leagues. Legendary Japanese live-action director Yoji Yamada, known for classics such as Tora-san and The Twilight Samurai, has launched a harsh critique of the current state of the Japanese box office. During a recent interview, Yamada expressed his deep concern that the top 10 at the Japanese box office is almost entirely dominated by anime films, such as Detective Conan, Demon Slayer, and Makoto Shinkai's films. The director argues that, while he respects animation, the suffocating monopolization of theaters by anime is killing the Japanese live-action film industry. He explained that local studios no longer want to finance traditional drama or action films with real actors because they believe that only anime sells, leaving Japanese directors and actors without opportunities or budgets to compete in their own country. And if that weren't enough, Netflix is also under fire because of the artificial intelligence used in its new major anime production, Cosmic Princess Kaguya. After releasing the first spectacular trailer for this science fiction series, professional animators analyzed the video frame by frame and exposed something serious. Several of the space backgrounds and some transition frames, in-betweens, had the classic deformities and errors left by generative artificial intelligence. Netflix subcontracted an independent studio to cut costs, and this studio used AI to meet deadlines without paying real background artists. This has sparked a debate about work ethics. Users are criticizing Netflix for charging such high subscription fees and, in return, delivering a product where companies save on artists' salaries by using automated programs. Japan is facing a delicate economic situation. There has been a drastic drop in tourist arrivals due to a growing boycott from China and Taiwan. Due to recent diplomatic and trade tensions in the region, various groups have promoted the cessation of travel to Japan. This has left tourist areas such as Kyoto and Akihabara with significantly fewer visitors, directly affecting anime and electronics stores that depend on foreign consumption. Japanese authorities are already seeking new strategies to attract Western audiences and offset these losses. To close, here is some news that has shaken the foundations of the dubbing industry. Former voice actress Sari Yoshizawa has decided to break her silence and expose the abusive practices she experienced during her career. Yoshizawa revealed through her platforms that the anime industry hides a dark side where favors, sexual or submissive, are often used as currency to obtain important roles or advertising contracts. She explained that many young talents are pressured by directors and producers under the threat of freezing their careers if they do not agree to these requests. This statement has reignited the movement to protect anime workers in Japan. Yoshizawa mentioned that the environment is so toxic that many seiyus suffer in silence for fear of losing their livelihood, calling for urgent reform in talent agencies to protect new generations from this system of exploitation. These were the most relevant news of the month. Thanks for watching until the end. Don't forget to check the other videos of the channel until next time.